Hi, welcome back to Breaking Bricks. I'm your host, Neil. This is week 11 of my Clone Wars mock. This is an Anxais, the Outpost. You know, we've gotten the subway system done. We've gotten the top in place. Now it's time to start the deck work. Can't really get very far with too much until I get that started. Now, I've kind of been screwing around a little bit, as you're about to see, just to kind of get an idea how this is all going to go together. So let's go ahead and just get to work on what we need to get done. All right, my friends, we have gotten a long way. You know, this is week 11, and we've got the top on. I am so thankful for that. So that allows us to start to work on the base itself. But of course, to work on the base, flooring needs to go in first. Why does flooring need to go in first? Because I am using the snot technique. It allows me to measure on how high the walls are going to start. So everything is about Lego math. You're working from the bottom up. So for me, this is just a process that works. You know, for you, it might be a little differently, but that's how I work. So I start putting in the floor, and on top of that, I am trying to do something new here in my building process. So I've got these hatches that hide where I plug in my LED lights and motors as well. Like here's a motor sticking out, and I'll show you up close later. And I also have an open hatch here. But I have also built a small shield generator here, which does work on an LED light. Now, the cool thing about this is rather than just straight up attaching it to the top of the build, that's something I would normally do. I did not do that here. Okay, this is actually sitting on flat tile, so it can be easily lifted out. Reason being is it will make moving this from one place to another a little bit easier. So I figured I would try to module everything on top. So everything will come down, pack into a box, and we'll be able to split up the sections from there, and I should be able to stack them in a truck or a car, and that will make moving this stuff so much more easier. See, I'm just going to kind of give this a little bit of a lift, but you know, your shield generators are always a little bit brittle here, and that's part of the reason why I wanted to start the floors, because I needed to figure out how I was going to do that. See, lifts right up, my wiring connects right into that hole. So there's an actual hole there, and then this just slides right into the groove that I've left for it. And I've left a little space to make it easier so it's not snug. I figured it would be like I said, I just want to make this a little bit more easier to move. I spent 6 hours building the bridge when I got down to Dayton, and it was just a lot. So let's just get to work. Alright, so now that I got an idea of how I want to modular it out, it'll allow me to leave a little bitty holes here and there where my power plugins are going to go in. And of course I've got to put in my grounding pieces that keeps everything in place. I have to keep in mind where the breaking points are. And the shield generator sits over top of the breaking point itself. Now I'm using SNOT, which stands for stud not on top. I know I'm going to come back in here and put my hangar doors for my Jedi fighters here. And I'm using tile to set it all on top of. Now what makes this side a little more difficult is the fact that this side has 4 breaking points compared to the other side only has 2.
for the most part, I'm just going to go around the table, fill it all in, expand it out. I'm not exactly positive how I'm going to lay it all completely out yet, but until I get this decking in, I really won't know. So I asked my daughter for the phone book the other day. She laughed at me, called me a dinosaur, handed me her iPhone and said, "Get with the tech, Dad." Needless to say, the spider's dead. She's pissed off and the iPhone's broke. So as I get this brick in here, I can't forget to put the tile that it rests on. As I get closer to the subway door as well, I have to keep in mind exactly what I'm going to do there. Back to the hangar door side. As you can see, there's some faded black brick in the middle of the shiny new stuff. I kind of like that look. It gives it a nice weathered look. And now we got our grades going in. The smoke trap. Some colored striping. And I'm going to spread these out, so once I figure out where my troops are going, it will make it a lot easier. Now, a couple of times I had to take this apart because I kept forgetting that there's a breaking point right through the middle. But I digress.
Well, my friends, we've taken it as far as we can take it. We've gotten quite a bit done here today. You know, starting right off with a big build, I like to start from the center and work my way out. This is no exception to that rule. You know, of course, we got our flooring in. You know, this is a big, vast open space here. You know, we're going to have our wall, our gun turrets, you know, tons of troops and things going on. But the cliff face is going to be back here. And a while back, probably maybe 4 to 6 years ago, I saw an amazing Hoth build. And what they did is they had a open face base in the back. And what basically I'm saying is normally I would build this up and fill this all in, and there'd be a lot to it. I haven't done that with the new style of building because it is just unfeasible. But that style that I saw there was a little bit more feasible. Now I want to put a hangar door in here like in the show, so I've got to figure all that out. On top of that, I want to make it modular. So what I mean by open face is, like, even though this is the inside of the cave, the top of it is going to be much smaller, so it's going to be open here on the back side, so you can see into it a little bit more clearer. So that's what my main focus is. So let's go ahead and take an up close look at what we got done this week. All right, we're going to start with the shield generator here. You know, I did this prior to starting the episode because I was just kind of working to see how this was all going to go together. And I designed this to just lift out. I unplug it, I put it in a box. I can stack these things on top of each other. Of course, we've got the staircase. It goes down to the tram dock. And as you can see here, here's our smoke trap. This is where the smoke's going to come out. Only in key spots. That way it gives it a nice little spread. It'll be a slow leak. That way it doesn't just cloud the whole place up at once. At least that's what I'm hoping for, in theory. We haven't tested it yet because we don't have it completely together. Of course, my friends, everything I'm doing here is going to be modular. The idea is to try to pick it up, put it in a box. I still try to figure all that out as I go. Hey, you're learning with me. If I fail, hey, I'll figure it out. Might take me a couple tries, but I will get there. But anyway, if you like what you saw here today, go ahead. Well, if you like what you saw here today, go ahead and hit that like button. It lets me know I did a good job, and it suggests this kind of content to anybody that might be into it. If you got a good idea for this build, maybe an idea for a future build, or just want to talk Lego, Star Wars, or anything at all, go ahead and put that in the comments down below, and I will get back to you as soon as I possibly can. And of course, we cannot grow here as a family unless you hit that subscribe button. It takes you a mere half second, but for me, it means an awful lot. I'll see you here next time on Breaking Bricks.